Welcome to the Automaticist.
Hello. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to solve a Rubik's Cube. Now, you might be thinking, gee, there's a lot of Rubik's Cube tutorials out there. Why should I watch this one? Well, this one is sort of based on when you take a cube apart, it's how you put it back together that is really kind of simple. And so I figured, why not you just pretend like a Rubik's Cube is in pieces and you're putting it back together in order to solve it. So I've kind of called this the assembly method just because it's like you're assembling the cube. Basically, it only uses a few algorithms. And if you've heard of those from the other methods and you can't solve it, this will greatly reduce the amount of memory that you need in order to solve your cube. So, we're obviously going to start with a mixed up cube because that surely makes it more challenging to solve, is when it's actually not solved, and that's sort of what we want. So I'd say that this is fairly mixed up. Now I'm not using a Rubik's brand Rubik's Cube, I'm using one designed to go a lot faster, but don't worry about that. I used to be more into this than I am currently. So basically, when you assemble Rubik's Cube, you start by putting one edge in place, and you find the corner, then the edges that go with it, and then you just go around to have these bottom two layers. So this layer and this middle layer. And then after that you put in, pieces on the top. Now I will be doing that sort of the traditional way, which is what's called the beginner's method, but this I feel like is an even better method. So let's start with that. So all you really need to do to start is just find any edge and you just match it up with the colors, and you'll learn if you do this enough times where the colors are in relationship to each other. It looks like we already have two edges here that are in the right place, just happens to be that way. So now we are going to find this corner. So this corner is going to include yellow, green, and red. And we're just going to find that, and it's over here. I'm going to bring it into place, but I can't just bring it right there because one, it won't be in the right direction, and two, it's moving my edge out of the way. So we want to bring it around out of the way. Then we're going to bring this corner up, we're going to switch them and bring it around. Now that's still not at the right orientation, so you're going to hold your cube like it's like this, so that one edge is on the top, one edge is facing to the right, but not really right. And you're just going to do this. And then you're going to do it again. If it's still not oriented correctly, you're just going to do that 2 more times, or however many times it takes. So that's really what you're doing there. I sort of want to avoid the notation because it was a bit difficult for me to learn when I learned it. It's definitely doable, but it's a lot easier just to see the logic of, hey, you know what? You're moving the corner out of the way. You're replacing it temporarily with a different corner, keeping in mind that your corner is now over here, and then you're just swapping it one more time. And once you can really see that logic, it makes it easy to understand. Next, you're going to get this edge. So that is yellow and green. And you're just going to basically bring that where it needs to be. Now, you can't just bring it right into the slot like that because that's moving stuff that you've already solved. So you've got to move it out of the way, move this up to grab it, and just the way that it works out, it will be right there, matched up with your corner, and then all you have to do is basically the reverse of this in order to bring that in there. And now you've got like a 2x2 that is essentially solved, and then all the rest is not solved yet. Now, just like when you're putting a cube together, you're going to go to the next side, we're going to get an edge, corner, and edge. Same exact method as before. Now, I notice that this corner is already where it needs to be. This edge is already right there. So this is going to be pretty easy. This edge is simple. That was all I had to do there. This corner, Well, I know that I just need to move this around, switch those so it's the same move sequence, and we're already done. So it's that easy. Here's our other edge. Now this is on this side again, so it's going to be the same way that we did it before. But I do want to show you something. So if your edge is on this side, you're just going to need to do the same exact thing that you would do if it was on this side, but in reverse. So you're going to move it this way this time. Move it back to the left. Move it over here. Move it that. Left, and then right, and then down. It's basically the same thing, but just on a different side. Just which side do you prioritize, this side or that side? You will never hold the cube like this or like this. It doesn't make sense. You can't see enough information. You hold it like this. You can see 3 sides. This you can see only 2, that you can see only 1. You want as much information as you can get. Again, we're going over here. White and red. Notice there's starting to be less possibility for the other places. Now, I'm pretty sure that at this point, you know what to expect. We're solving for this blue, white, red corner. It's right here. We know exactly how to do it. Now, I will say that this is not the fastest method out there by any means, but you will be able to solve it. And gradually, you will get better at solving it. Now we're going to move this up here so we can move it out of the way. Get it there. We know how to do this one. We've done that plenty of times, right? And now we're on to the last one, and we already have that edge because we had to get 2 at first. So now we're just looking for the last corner with the red on it. And I just randomly chose red. You're going to see that's over here, and we're just going to keep doing this. Now, if you get it like this, where you would need to do that sequence twice, you can actually just do it backwards once. And the same goes for any of these. And then this edge is already lined up. I mean, it was only going to be in one of 4 places. So, lined up here so we know which one to use there. We just use the left side version. And now we've already got 2 layers done and basically just repeating the same 2 steps over and over. Or maybe 3 steps if you want to further subdivide it. Now we're going to get to this part. Now the next thing we're going to get is all these orange pieces showing up. That's because orange is opposite red. If you had started with green, you'd be doing blue now. If you had started with white, you'd be doing yellow now. It's really just whatever you start with, that's what you're going to be, it's going to dictate what you get at the end. So if you get this, where every single orange edge piece is somewhere else. So this one's over here, that one's over there, none of them are on top. You know, these corners, they're nice, but they don't really give us much at this point because there's just going to be no way that those stay there. You're just going to do the same thing no matter what. You're going to bring them down, up, rotate this, bring this back to where it was, bring that back to where it was, bring that back to where it was. Now, if you get this, there's 2 of them, and it might look like this. This is good, that's good. Either way, you're just going to do that again. It's the exact same thing. Now, if you get the bar, you want this to be perpendicular to basically facing away from you. So you want this like this. You want it sort of more like a dash than an I. And we don't care about the corners. So this is an I. This is a dash. We want a dash. And we're going to do that one more time. Then we're going to look for any edge that is lined up. So this one is in the perfectly right place, perfectly right orientation, spacing the right way. That means that...
Alright, so basically what's going on now is we're going to move this around, and it does a lot of complicated things, but it's pretty easy to see that what we're actually doing is moving each square once so all of these edges get lined up. It will eventually work out. There's a couple bits of experimentation, but it's okay.
We have all of these in the right places. Now here comes the algorithm that I was using where we swap the corners. We got this corner in the right place, not facing the right direction, but see, white to white, blue to blue, orange to orange is the right corner. Now is when we use the swap corners thing, and I will say it helps to have just the one side showing for this, or at least that's how I do it. So you're gonna move it out of the way, switch them. You're really switching the red corners. That's what it really looks like. You are changing these corners. That one's yellow, this is white, this needs to happen again. That's the right corner, that's the right corner. On a 3x3 Rubik's Cube, if these two are both right, these two will be right. Unless someone messed with your Rubik's Cube, in which case you need to take it apart and switch the corners and do all of that. Now comes the last part. You're going to get these to face the correct direction. Now, we've already sort of done this. This is exactly the same thing that we've done before. Now, once we've done this, this is going to look all messed up, and you're going to be like, oh no. The cube has a lot of cool mathematical properties. One of them is that if you do this, that motion 6 times, it will come back to being solved. I did not believe that at first, and I sort of cheated a little bit a couple times just to say I solved my Rubik's Cube. It doesn't matter what you do to this. You can go to the next corner, you can do it again. Turn that side, doesn't matter. 1, 2, that's a total of 6, and we are solved.